Hi, and welcome to the Creating, Living, and Making podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Adam Mackey, and as always, I'm joined by Morley Kert.
Hello.
And Grant Alexander.
What up?
So, what are you guys been up to this week? Shut up.
So Grant put in the notes, Adam will mess up and we will laugh at him.
So, what have you been up to, guys? Done any clamping this week? Morley?
Sure, I will start off. So I'll hit the elephant in the room first. I think the day before our episode with Jimmy DeResta dropped, I decided that I should pull the trigger on the rebranding that I've been thinking about for a little while, and that Jimmy's episode really kind of catalyzed me to do. So I am no longer Yelrom blog. It is just my name, Morley Kert. And
that's exciting.
Yeah, these guys came in today.
What?
My
You already
God.
have new stickers. That's fast.
Yeah.
You have stickers already?
Okay, so this is me proving that Jimmy saying it wasn't the only factor. I've been planning this for a little while. So like for the listeners, I got some nice die cut stickers of my new logo. And ever since I made this, I've liked it a lot more than my previous logo, this kind of like hand with my initials in it. So I wanted to get merch for it, and Sticker Mule had a die cut sticker sale and decided to get those.
You know what I like about it?
What do you like?
It's not a circle.
Yeah, I was like, it's kind of the perfect shape to be die cut, because even without seeing the graphic at the front, you can tell what it is.
Yeah.
That's one of the things when I was rebranding mine was I did not want a circle for a logo. Everyone has a circle.
The circle's nice for Instagram and YouTube because it's in a circle, but your logo doesn't have to be a circle. It just has to go into a circle on certain platforms.
Yeah, like that's what I like with mine. It can be a square, but then the circle can easily happen. Whereas, say someone like Grant has a circle for his logo, he's pretty much stuck with it.
I have a rectangle for my logo. It's just, it's got a circle inside of it.
Yeah, I can confirm. I'm looking at it over there.
Yeah, you have one of my stickers on your wall.
Oh wait, I do too.
It's a rectangle with rounded edges. It just happens that I made it so that my name fit within it, and
Yeah,
so
that's right.
It's funny. I think, just kind of thinking back a little, when I first came on Clamp, I think Adam actually brought up Yelrom blog as a name, and I think that kind of got the gears turning, me thinking about rebranding. And I think in the back of my mind, I'd been a little bit of, I think I wanted to change it without knowing it. You know how when you're on Instagram, you can have your name and then also your username. And I think I found myself kind of just wishing that it was just all the same thing. I was like, I want people to know me for my name. And I don't know, for a little while I was thinking I don't know, Morley Kert Creations. But then I felt like I was pigeonholing a little bit. And I think Jimmy just saying just do your name. I was like, okay, that's.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was very similar. I wanted to use my name, but then I also didn't want it just to be my name, because I wanted it to feel like a brand and not just my name.
And there's a lot of Adam Mackeys. You're not alone.
Is it?
Yeah. If you just type in Adam Mackey, a lot of people come up, and there's different spelling variations. But I'm an investigator. I looked.
That's a pro Googler.
That's pretty much what it is. But no, that's because I don't know if you know this, Morley, but Adam used to have a different
Yeah,
name.
I saw that. I was doing some stalker work.
Investigating himself.
Yeah. It was the garage woodworker?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there was already one when you became one, but yeah.
Yeah. It's funny though, when I changed my name to Make It Mackie, my wife was like, I'd prefer your old name. I don't like your new name. And I'm like, too bad, I'm living with it. And then now she's just sort of gotten over it. But every now and then I liked your old name better.
Maker Mackie is a lot more fun sounding.
Well, not just that, but I didn't want to restrict myself to a garage. And I didn't want to restrict myself to woodworking.
Yeah.
Because eventually, if this ever does turn into something, I would like to rent a shop or something, not just be in a one-car garage forever.
Yeah.
Or do some welding.
Which is actually working on with metal this week. So
yeah. Well, it's kind of like Hand Tool Rescue. I don't know if you've ever watched that, but he started out doing hand tools. And now he hasn't done a hand tool in like 4 years, but the name stuck. Like,
yeah, exactly. Well, it's like David Bisciuto. Like, he couldn't just be drunk in every video,
right? He changed that so early on, though, just like you.
Yeah.
Well, you're going to be the next David Bisciuto. Don't worry.
He's hoping.
So, what else have you been up to, Morley?
So I also have been putting the finishing touches on my 3D printer enclosure / standing desk, which is now done just this afternoon. I want to keep the last finishing touch a surprise, so you probably won't see it again until I release the build video, and it's a big one. So here's hoping it'll come out in the next week or so, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. And then I've just been kind of doing little 3D printing projects, practicing modeling. Been working on my mystery maker collab project that our boy Colt at BCF Leather is putting on. That's what.
Are you turning that into a video?
No, I think I'm gonna just make like an Instagram post. Mine wouldn't make a very good video. Actually, you know what? As I say that, I'm not sure. It would make a good story. It's definitely a good story.
It's one of those like hard to market kind of things. Is that?
Yeah, it's just, and like it's not long enough for a full video.
When,
I don't know. I'm actually.
When you plan on like putting that on Instagram and stuff?
What'd you say?
Like how long before that'll be finished?
Oh, probably not long. Probably within the next couple of weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you don't want to talk about it yet? That's what I'm trying to say.
No, I don't want to talk. It's not going to be out by the time this podcast. Actually, it might. I definitely underestimate my productivity more than I overestimate it. So who knows? Maybe it will come out. But yeah, that's mostly. I don't know. We only recorded with Jimmy like 4 or 5 days ago. So
yeah, we the recording with Jimmy we did like a few days late, and then so
this one we're doing early.
Yeah. I was gonna say, like, with your new logo, is like it kind of looks like it's short for maker, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah, you know what? I was not even conscious of that until someone brought it up.
The first thing when I saw that was it's missing ERMACKEY.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Another guy, Ben from Make Your Life. No, is that his brand? Make Your Life Workshop. He was like, he's like, oh, it might be cool to put a horizontal line over the A, which is the phonetic symbol for a long A. Anyways, enough about branding. I'm very happy.
Put a top hat on the A.
Done.
Because it stands for Abraham.
Oh, actually, that's pretty good.
And you're American.
Boom. And you're American.
Oh, wow. Okay. The gears are turning.
And tomorrow he rebrands again.
Yeah. My whole life now is just going to be changing usernames. And Grant, what have you been working on these past 5 days?
Well, it was an exciting week for the short week that it was. I got the grand prize in the Toys and Games contest on Instructables with my mud kitchen. Thank you. I didn't expect it, but I was happy to make the finals, and then woke up one day and was a grand prize winner. So that was my first grand prize. So that was really fun. The other thing is I've been making a folding bow saw or buck saw, depending on where you are and what you want to call it. But it all folds in nicely so I can pack it away in my backpack and take it with me.
That's a really cool idea.
Yeah, it looks really cool.
Oh, thanks.
Is that has anyone done that before that you know of?
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
I saw a picture of one online and I just saw the picture. I didn't look into how to do it, but I was like, I'm sure I can figure this out. And while I did figure it out, the first one's a prototype.
Yeah, I was going to say, you need to get a pattern on that quick, but yeah. So when you fold it up, is the blade like inside of it?
Yes. So it protects
cool. So it's like,
Yeah, it protects the blade from being from catching on every single thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I like it. Looks good.
I don't know how other people do it. I know how I did it. And it's an interesting thing. And then the top part when it comes back together to hold the tension on the blade because it's kind of like a hacksaw where you have to have tension on it for it to work properly. I've just used some paracord, which is kind of nice because I like paracord.
Nice. Did you put that on your Instagram or just on your story?
Just on my stories right now because it's a thing. But you know what? Maybe we could throw it up on our Patreon, which we'll be talking about later.
Ooh.
So the last thing is I've started editing the giant poster hanger video. But I kind of have a problem in that I don't have a picture of the final product because it was a commission.
It's in someone else's hand.
Oh, it's a commission. Yeah.
Right. So I got them to send me a picture, and the picture, like, the problem is it's in their garage and there's stuff hanging in the way of it's like this guy who has a race boat. And he's got like a partial piece of his old race boat, I guess, hanging from the ceiling, and it's kind of half covering the picture. Right. So I kind of like, do I Photoshop that piece out, or do I ask for another picture of someone I don't even know? Like I asked nicely to the guy I made it for to ask his client, because I made it for the photographer who then sent it to his client, who actually ordered the poster and the frame.
How much percentage of it do you think is covered?
Like 10.
Yeah, I reckon maybe just zoom in on it a little bit and then pan, have it pan in the video, so
for the video. I think I can get it workable. It's the thumbnail.
You're more talking. Yeah, okay. Could you don't have a sort of finished shot in your filming that you could use?
It just looks like two boards. Without a poster hanging in it, it looks like nothing.
Oh, right. I see what you're saying. Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So I made a couple more for the same guy, and I actually have a picture of one of the other ones I made. But it's made out of walnut, and this one's made, and the one I filmed is made out of cherry. So it's kind of like
So you need to get into paint and crop. Somehow change the color of the wood.
Grant, do you do all of your photo editing in Paint? Or just,
just logo.
Just logos. No, I use Adobe Spark. I use a combination of Adobe Spark and Canva.
You use Paint.net, right, Morley?
Yeah, primarily. And I've used Inkscape for vector work.
Yeah. I went to Paint.net and I don't know what happened. It just took me to some spyware stuff. I don't know what's going on. I'm not, I used to be really big into computers, and then they just kept evolving and I stopped.
That's funny. I was talking to my wife about that the other day about grandparents and that these days don't know how to use technology and stuff. And I'm like, do you reckon when we get older, we're going to be the same?
Oh man, it's terrifying.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I mean, I can't imagine being born in 1940 and trying to use sometimes my mom asks me to help her with CAD software. And I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, there's so much base here that I know just from using my computers my entire life that I don't even know how to begin to explain.
Right? Yeah. I don't understand what TikTok is. I barely understand Twitter. And I'm only 36.
Oh, he says his age.
Yeah. I know. I was born in 1984, so if that's the right, I don't know.
That's enough, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, but I remember, we had a computer in our house for as long as I can remember. We had but my dad still types 2 fingers, right? He's getting a little better, but he would always ask us, as growing up, can you show me how to do this thing? And we try and take over because he's so slow, and he gets so mad because he's like, no, I need to know how to do it. I don't want you to do it. I need to know how to do it so I learn. And I'm like, yeah, you should take that lesson. And anyways, we didn't talk about my mentor on the last one, but we'll get to that later.
Okay.
But that's all that I've been working on. What about you, Adam?
Well, I've been working on my lamp for the Enlighten Us challenge still, which is it's odd. So I'll talk about it because I don't really care if people know. No one's going to copy me. My original plan was to get strips of pine, like 2x4, rip it into really thin strips, and then I'm going to make like a tabletop with a lamp coming out the middle, a pole, and then like the lampshade, and then like I'm going to bend some wood into legs. Okay. And yeah, so my plan was to get like the pine and actually make like a swirl.
Oh,
Yeah.
Like around the pole. And then I decided to use like a really thin plywood because I think it'll be easier, and I'm not really it's more of a concept than the looks of it. I think plywood's going to be easier to bend, but I want it to look like it's like the pole is like the actual spiral coming out. Mm-hmm. So like it's going to be like the actual table will be like the spiral, but then from the inside of the spiral, it's going to like wrap around the pole on an angle sort of thing. Yeah. So
are you doing curve bending?
No, like it's like I've just got like 3mm thick plywood, and I'm just going to try and work out if I have to wet it or something so I can get the bend.
They have this
because the pole in the middle is pretty the pole in the middle is like 30mm wide, so like it's not too aggressive of a bend.
Right. Mm-hmm. Just hold on one sec. I'm googling millimeters to inches.
I don't know if you guys have ever seen this. I saw it for the first time a few months ago and had never seen it before, but like it's plywood that's made to be bendy. It's like just two plies oriented in the same direction. I think it's called snake ply.
Yeah, right.
Have you guys ever seen that?
No.
Yeah, Easy Swan uses it.
Oh, cool. Yeah, they at the set shop they were using it, and I was like, I've never seen this before. Like everyone on YouTube's curve bending.
At the what?
It's called crazy ply or snake ply, or there's like 100 different names for it, but it's like a plywood that's super bendy.
I think it's just two ply with the grain oriented in the same direction.
Doesn't that kind of defeat the purpose of ply?
Well, it's just you use it as a skin. So I think it's basically a veneer.
Yeah, okay.
And then the other side is the grain is oriented perpendicular to the length so that it can really wave around a lot. And then you just glue it and nail it into place, and you have a wooden covering to something.
Yeah. But I don't know if it's available in Australia, but you can look into that.
Yeah. Well, the 3mm ply is like pretty bendy.
Cool.
I'm guessing it is because it's less than 1/8 of an inch, according to Google.
Yeah.
For most people out there in the world who obviously don't understand metric, even though I'm in Canada and we use metric, I just wanted to do the conversion for all you.
Just doing it for the people.
Yeah. I'm also making I guess a dowel jig, you would call it. I don't know. So it's like a piece of steel with all holes in it to make like your own dowels.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
Like Pask made one of those, eh?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who I looked him up because I used to subscribe to him and then somehow lost the subscription. But yeah, I looked him up today and he's got like 700,000 subscribers or something.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Ooh.
He blew up like crazy because like I used to subscribe to him when he had like under 10,000.
Oh wow.
So
yeah. It's too bad he's not really Australian. He's a transplant, just like Morley.
Yeah, that's probably why he blew up.
Dang, carpetbagger. Do you guys know that expression? I don't know if that's just in the US. Oh, okay. Okay, so quick tangent. This is actually a slang that was from the Civil War. So after the Civil War, the South was in disarray as they had just lost a war, and a lot of like entrepreneurs and prospectors from the North came down to the South to try to like start a new venture or start a business. And they were called carpetbaggers because they would take all their belongings in a carpet bag. So a carpetbagger is someone who like, with no connections to a place, they move into that place and try to kind of like start their own life there.
So they're trying to like exploit the local populace.
Yeah, I guess that's the connotation.
Okay.
Anyways, you can use that in your vocab slang now. You're welcome.
Well, now I have to look it up to see if it's like somehow like racist before.
I was going to say it's probably racist of some sort.
It's pretty colloquial. I think you're safe.
Okay.
So what else I've been working on? I making a branding iron of my
how's
logo
that going?
still. Yeah, it's yeah.
Okay.
The little discs that I have for the rotary tool that I have are just like cheap and just literally shatter instantly. So
Are you using the reinforced ones, like with the mesh on them?
well, I have like this big like box that I bought of like all pieces, and there's like a row of different types, and like so I need to actually go to the shop and buy some. Yeah, exactly, Grant.
I made the symbol for to throw them away. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I returned to work from parental leave recently, so trying to like balance work life and having a baby, dealing with that. So yeah, which actually moves us on to today's topic, which is about balancing our clamps. In saying that, I mean balancing work life, making life, living life, and so on.
And creating life.
Sure. This isn't the podcast to talk about how to create life, but...
Well, no, you just talked about a baby. I don't know.
Yeah, Adam, how has that been, like, transitioning in the past few days?
It's interesting. So I had 5 weeks off work, where I had the baby 1 week after, so 4 weeks of actually having a baby. And it was so easy to, like, try and get some projects done and all that sort of stuff. And now I find I have no time. And like even before we had the baby, so the only time I really get time in the shop is like on a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, because my son's at daycare for the day. And then my wife used to work on a Thursday, Friday, so I'd get time like the whole day to myself, because I usually like get home from work by midday and then we get stuff done. But now she's off work, so trying not to feel guilty going in there and spend time with the family and all that sort of stuff and all that. So
the guilt is real.
Yeah. But yeah, so I don't know. It's been a little bit of an adjustment trying to, like, even today, like, so it's Thursday for me today. So after we finish this, I've got some time, but then it's like, well, do I go in the shop and get some stuff done or spend time with the wife before my son comes home from daycare? And then I, like, the gyms are reopened, so I go to the gym every day as well, which is like another hour and a half to 2 hours. And it's just, all just adds up.
Yeah, for sure.
So I don't think I'll be doing weekly videos much more.
I thought it was crazy how much you were producing for like the last month or whatever. Like you produced a video like every single week. You should have held on to those videos.
I know. Yeah. It's so hard. Like even it's funny. I was watching John Malecki, the table that he just put out with the river, like the waterfall thing, and then it popped up a video I'd already watched of his of like epoxy mistakes, and it was from 4 weeks ago, and the thumbnail was of that table, like the epoxy mistake he had in that video. I'm like, wow, he made this 4 weeks ago, and he's only just putting out the video. And I'm like to me, I'm like, if I get a video done, I need to get it out. I can't hold on to it. But yeah, I should have got like 10 videos in the bag, or at least 10 videos recorded, and then just like let them out every 2 weeks or something. But
yeah, that's like, I guess most of my projects in the last few months have been like relatively small. So I'm a little daunted with this 3D printer enclosure build, because the editing strategy is like, it's just different. It's not like a type of video I've made in a long time, or I don't know, in a little while. Yeah. So yeah, like, I mean, Grant, you've talked about like, you'll have months between a project and making the video. And I just feel like I haven't had that experience in a little while.
It's like, I was watching it because my son makes me watch, like he's 2, he makes me watch my videos all the time. So it's like, it's really, it's super cute, but also like he makes me watch the early ones a lot. So I watch some of my worst videos where I go like, I want to delete it. And I would if he didn't request it. Like my car video, like car and truck video. It was like, there's no music in it. I fast forward while I'm talking, so you can't hear me. Like it's the worst video of mine that's currently on the YouTubes. But one of the ones that he's currently interested in is like this kitchen tower that we built. And I filmed it in the winter and I released it the next summer. So like 6 months later, and like my
Yeah, wow.
beard is completely like just twice as long and stuff like that, like in the intro and the conclusion. And it all came down to the audio on one part of it just didn't work. And it just sounded horrible. So I just didn't do it. I just couldn't get over that like in my mind. But I've done a couple of videos where it's a long time between when I actually make the thing and then when I actually put out the video. And I think it's a lot to do with just kind of trying to balance that, putting out too many videos and then not having anything in the reserve to go. Because the first year I was on YouTube, I put out a video almost every single week. And in some weeks I put out 2. Wow. So, and I just remember, like, because I was like Adam, like, I got a project done, I've got the video done, I'm putting out a video, right? And it drove me crazy trying to meet the weekly thing. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure my wife felt the same way.
Well, it's even when I was releasing them weekly, and sometimes I got the edit done like 4 days in advance, get it up on YouTube, let it process and everything. And then it took me like the whole 4 days. I'm like, don't click release. Wait, you've put a schedule on for it to release. Just let it release by itself. Don't release it. It's so, yeah.
But do you think there's a good,
like,
I was going to say, do you think there's a good reason to stick to that schedule? Like, if you have it out early, why not just put it out early?
Well, one, like, you can, I think 1 a week is like enough for a maker channel. And then, like, on top of that, if you were to put them out earlier, then you've got to, like, it's going to be either longer time between videos, or you're going to have to try and find something to fill it in. I think most people expect that a maker channel would put out like 1 a week, maybe 1 a fortnight, depending if your Jackman works 1 every few months.
He used to do 1 a week, and now he makes bigger projects. So
he had a really good post, I think, in a Facebook group, or maybe it was a tweet, where he was talking about like trying to be okay with that. He was like, yeah, this year I only put out 5 videos because that was what worked for me and with my schedule. And there's
but like his editing must take forever, and like the filming, like even he's putting epoxy onto the table to then work with it must take him 20 minutes just to film that, because he has to walk past the camera with different things 1,000 times.
I've done that in one of my videos.
Yeah, exactly.
It probably took 20 minutes, and then I screwed it up, so then I had to do it again.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, it's like dropping off like multiple people. Yeah.
And that's the thing. You do that. If you bump one thing that's already been put on the table, you have to restart, because then that's not in the right place, and it's going to look weird if it's just moving by itself.
Right. And then you do the whole thing, and then you realize the whole time you somehow screwed up the lighting, so it doesn't work. So it's constantly, exactly. You really got to be good at like understanding how all that works. Yeah,
exactly. I've duplicated myself a couple of times in older videos and that, but see, that's another thing too, is that I'm not completely happy with my video style. I'm still trying to find the style that I'm happy with and keep trying new things, but yeah.
So it's advantageous for you to put out videos as much as you can, because it's like, it's getting reps in. It's getting...
Theoretically, yeah. That's the other thing too. Listening to like podcasts and stuff where they say, oh, well, like people ask, how do you get started? And they say, well, just make a video, edit the video. If you're not happy with it, don't put it out. And I'm one of those people that's like, no, I have to just put it out. Like, I can't just throw away something and just be like, oh yeah, whatever.
So my first video, and it's not on YouTube anymore, was a time lapse of me plowing my driveway. That's what it was. Okay. And so it was my first like real video on YouTube. I had some other stuff that I like put up to share with people, but it was like my first, like, I am going to try in YouTube, and it got 140 views. And I was Grant, like, wow.
Quick question. Why?
Why not?
That's a good point. Actually, you know what? Like, I don't know if you know much about like the Montreal snow clearing operation, but it's quite a situation, like how they deal with all the snow in the winter, and they use all this heavy construction equipment to get off the streets and have snow dumps all throughout the city. and videos of like time-lapse sped up videos of Montreal snow clearing have like millions of views on YouTube.
Exactly.
Okay.
It was like, maybe if I throw something like this out there, I bought the GoPro and I knew, like, I had an idea of what I wanted to do. And I was like, I'm going to try and see what this looks like. So I just cleared my driveway with my, like, I think it was like almost 2 feet of snow. So it was a pretty good, like, clearing of the thing. But yeah, I was hoping for some sort of crazy like viral
It's like
video.
defying reason blowing up.
Right. But instead I got 140 views. I was pretty pumped about that, and that set
Jeez, I'm happy if I get that now.
For sure.
yeah. That set expectations pretty high, and it took a long time to get back to there.
My first video was making my workbench, and I hate it. Like, I look at it and it's got like almost 1,000 views, and I'm like, why are people watching this? Like, stop watching my first video. It is crap. But I don't want to take it away because it obviously is bringing people to the channel.
I got a comment on my first video today.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. What's your first video?
It was making a knife out of a saw blade for Eden. Yeah. And you know what? It's go on.
Was that your real first video, or is that the first video that's still up?
That's the first video on my channel. I've had other YouTube channels. I have some old parkour videos on YouTube. I have some.
Wait, you doing parkour?
Yeah. I went.
Or is it like you in like the office going parkour?
No, it's like I was legit into it. I was like backflips off walls and
I wonder if I've ever watched them though, because like I went through a stage of watching so much parkour.
Yeah, like honestly, that was one of my big YouTube influences is parkour YouTube channels. Like Store, I don't know if you know Store or Farang, but like I used to love those guys. This is quite. This is so. What we're talking about.
This is such a tangent that it should be a whole other topic.
I was going to say we just went on a huge tangent. So to take it back to topic, how do you balance your clamp, Morley?
So I think among the three of us, like I have the least amount of like external responsibilities.
I was going to say, yeah.
So it's not.
It must be a lot easier not having a kids.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't have a kid. I don't have a mortgage or a house, and I mean my workspace is in my apartment, so it's really easy to just pop over, do some work. But I've always
plus Eden helps make videos with you too. Like when you
we do the cooking videos. I like we just film them together and we brainstorm, and then I do the editing, and then she weighs in. But I've always been very into like kind of trying to balance my life, my clamps in general. Which can kind of not be a great thing sometimes. Like I think sometimes I'm reticent to spend too much time on one thing because I feel like I'm neglecting the other parts of my life. I think sometimes you need to zero in on something for a day. And it's funny, I think if Eden were to hear me say that, she'd say like, what are you talking about? Like you regularly zero in on something and work on that for hours at a time. But yeah, like I go on a walk in the middle of the day if I'm just like, I feel like kind of listless, like not really sure what to do. It's like, it's kind of just ingrained into my process is trying to strike a balance, and cooking I find is like a great way to find the balance because it's still kind of like making up recipes and stuff kind of like scratches that making and creativity itch, but it's something that's totally different. Yeah. Especially if I've been doing like a lot of video editing, which sometimes I really need, I feel like a total change of pace from that. It's hard for me to like, did you guys find it's hard to just like sit down and edit for hours at a time?
Well, like my job is sitting in front of a computer for 8 hours, and then editing is sitting in front of a computer for another 8, right? Like some days, like depending on the video, and so I can totally get like wanting a change of pace. And then like, your hobbies, my hobbies playing video games. That's sitting in front of a computer again. Like, so or watching YouTube videos. It's sitting in front of a computer again. Like there's a lot of the same thing with slight, like very small variations that make you want to get out in the shop, make you want to get out and go for a walk or a hike or a camping trip or whatever. Like,
That's where I'm lucky, where I do my editing at my job.
Yeah, that's like the dream.
Yeah. And no, and like one thing I love about Eden is that like she loves like going to see art, and then like going, like she's taken me to a lot of like modern dance shows, and we go to museums a lot together. So that's a great balance as well, because it like, I mean, versus just working on your own stuff. I mean, it just such a source of inspiration and a change of perspective. It kind of stinks right now because, I mean, I don't know, this week I was really craving like going to a concert. I was like, I was listening to some great music while biking, and I was like, oh, I want to mosh or something.
I was meant to go to one last month. I'm so devastated.
Yeah, I miss live shows so much.
I hate crowds, so that's not me.
All right. Yeah.
So
I feel like, I was gonna say, I feel like you will be closer to me, Grant, balancing life and
probably because of the kids. Like, obviously, having a kid makes a big difference on what you can and cannot do. And basically, what I've done is had just less sleep. That's for the first year. That's
something else too that I like. Because you stay up overnight and do your editing and stuff. Hey,
I stay up till between midnight and 1 a.m. every single night. For the first year and a half that my son was born, I got 6 hours of sleep or less every night. And the or less was he would wake up every couple hours. And I somehow survived. I don't know how I survived. I don't know what I did to be able to function, but it's caught up with me. I can't do it anymore. Now,
no, I know exactly what you mean. I've lived off 4 hours sleep since I was 18.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And it's like slowly catching up to me. I'm just like, I'm too old for this shit.
I can't get through a day without a nap most days. Like, most days at 6 o'clock, I'm like falling asleep.
Well, you guys have seen it. Like, it's midday here, and I'm yawning the whole time every time we record the podcast. Even when I was off for 5 weeks, I was still yawning all day.
Yeah, you're like new kid and colicky. It's completely. But yeah, I get you. It's not easy. It's not easy. Well, so what is your like? Do you have any like tips?
Not really, to be honest. It's funny. We want to talk about balancing our clamps, and to be honest, my clamp is not balanced at all. Mm-hmm. I have no. I edit when I can at work. I get editing. I get recording done whenever I can. I have no like schedule.
Yeah,
but that's
you feel like
that's
you're kind of like flying by the seat of your pants.
Sorry, you both talked at the same time.
It's okay, Grant, go on.
I feel like that's exactly what balancing is. If you watch someone doing tightrope, they don't have it all planned out what they're going to be doing every single step they take. But what they do have planned out is what to do depending on what happens. So you get an extra 30 minutes of free time. Do you sit on the couch and veg out, or do you go in the workshop, or do you go do some editing, or whatever it is?
It kind of depends on what my wife's doing, to be honest. So I don't want to throw her under the bus, but like she's not really the most supportive person when it comes to the whole like making and YouTube and that sort of thing. And so like I have that extra guilt of going in the shop and ditching her and all that sort of stuff. So yeah,
I luckily have a very supportive wife who listens to the podcast.
Rub it in, Grant.
No, we've had a lot of conversations about it for real though, because it does impact our life.
Oh, definitely.
Right.
I've considered just stopping a few times because it is like really life consuming.
Especially I could make twice as much things if I didn't video it.
Exactly. Yeah. But then, see, for me, if I wasn't videoing it, I have no point to make anything other than it just being like for fun.
Right. Other than it being for fun.
No, but I mean, like,
it can't be for fun.
No, but what I mean is like the table that I made for a video. I wouldn't make that just for myself for fun because I had no use for it.
Mm.
So I've never made something just for fun. Everything I've ever made is like okay, it was all fun, but like it had a purpose. It was either a gift or a toy for my son or whatever it was. I've yet to make something that I made to make a YouTube video of that. I don't have a squirrel epoxy river picnic table or anything like that.
Yeah. That's why I think it would be good to have like commission pieces and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, it's a great motivator. Like from my experience, is it like it's nice to have that external reason, and it's really fulfilling. I find.
Yeah.
For me, just I love doing something that I'm passionate about, and like half the things people have connected with me to build, I'm not passionate about, so I just turn them down.
Yeah.
So like commissions, like because I learned very early on when I was in high school, I did custom airbrushing for remote control car bodies, like the little cart, like the. Anyways, I did custom airbrushing for money, and what I learned is, if I'm not passionate about it, I won't do it. I just won't do it. I will do everything in my power to not do it until like the very last deadline of all the deadlines of the guy saying, where the hell is my thing that I paid you for? Right. And I'm in high school. So like, I'm not, intimidating at all. I'm still not intimidating, but I'm in high school on top of that. So I have like adults going, I paid you for something. Why have you not delivered? I realized I do not like making my hobbies a job.
Yeah.
So now if someone comes to me and says, I'd like you to make this, I feel very comfortable saying, no, thank you, if I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Grant, you strike me as someone who has very clear boundaries on parts of your life.
And that's only come with experience.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you for recognizing that. But yeah, that's exactly what I have is I go, I'm not like, I made the kitchen helper, whatever, children's fancy step stool. And a friend of my wife said, does Grant want to make me one? And I went, I couldn't make you one cheaper than they are on Kijiji. Like they're available like on the Facebook marketplace or whatever. Like there's people selling them. The one I built cost more than the one I could have bought one. Like a handmade one.
Well, that again is another topic, but I had a guy at work that found out I make stuff, and he said, "Oh, like how much would it cost to get a bookshelf about this big?" And I said, "Oh, probably $300 to $400 in timber, and then my work, like my cost on top." He's like, "I could go get one from IKEA for $100." I said, "We'll go do that."
Bye.
Like,
bye. It's not the conversation.
Yeah, that is an entire conversation in itself. But like, it was more, I didn't want to build another kitchen helper, whatever.
Yeah, so you give them the go away price.
I didn't even give them the go away price. I said, thank you. I very much appreciate you wanting something made by me. If you want something made by me, I will do it. If you want it because you just want it and you don't care who makes it, it's cheaper to get it there.
Yeah.
I guess one thing I will say too about balancing is like, I feel like because like so much of my time, I like any free time I have, I try to spend like making stuff, making videos, working on designs, what have you. And like, it definitely does come at a cost. Like I'm not up to date on like pop culture. Like there are so many shows out that all my friends are talking about. And I was like, I have no idea what you are talking about. And
I think it's a good thing though.
Yeah.
Put that out there. Like,
no, I am consciously focusing on the things that like bring me joy and that are contributing to a larger goal. And it's great, but it is a cost. Like it's nice to be able to like, just like shoot the shit with friends and win. I mean, I still do that, but like, I've never been into sports and I definitely would not be watching sports right now.
I'm not into sports either, but I know Adam likes NFL and stuff.
Yeah.
He's a weirdo.
Yeah, so it's the only sport I really like. I don't know why. I think growing up, I always kind of wished I was American. So I like got into the American sports and stuff. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway.
But that is an interesting point that you make, that like you're kind of insulating yourself. But at the same time, what we've done because of your like makers on Zoom having coffee is you've been able to create a space where you can talk with other people that share the same interests. Yeah.
But that's very true. But I think like even with that, like people talking about shows and stuff, and I just I'm not up to date, which is fine. Like I'm totally fine with that. And the other thing too that I wish I could do more is I just like have not been watching as many maker videos recently. It's like I was watching before I like got into actually like making content and videos and stuff. Like I was up to date on like I was big into Matthias Wendell. I like to make stuff, Jimmy DiResta, and just like I've just not stayed up to date on anyone. And I
did the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Before I started my YouTube channel, I would watch every single video that came out, and then as soon as I started my YouTube channel, I sort of not really lost interest, but just I suppose kind of lost interest. Like I didn't really have the time as much, but then also I was like every time I watched a video, I'm like I'm just not feeling it, and would turn it off.
Well, it lost its magic because you know the background.
Exactly.
If you knew how the magic trick happened, it stops being fun to watch.
Yeah.
And most of the videos I watch now, like maker video wise, are things that I would not make, or like that I'm not making, that I might make at some point, but I don't have. Like I never watched leatherworking videos. I loved watching Jimmy DiResta's leatherworking videos before I started leatherworking, but I never watch them now.
Yeah, right.
See, so it's an interesting. I take that as part of my creativity, regardless of. Like, there's a certain people I watch every time because I think there are things to learn from them. Even if I think I know exactly what they're going to be doing, they surprise me. Jimmy DiResta is one of them. He surprises me all the time.
Definitely.
Like, Paul Jackman surprises me, and I get a lot of inspiration from what he does. But, like, Bob, I like to make stuff. I don't watch all of his videos anymore.
Yeah.
I used to.
Like, I think it's habit as much of anything. Like, I know if I turned on Jimmy DiResta's most recent leather bag video, it would be awesome. I would enjoy it. I would get inspiration and tips and everything else out of it. It's just that like I have not been in the habit recently of watching those videos because I don't know, like it's kind of like what David Picciuto has talked about with listening to podcasts. It feels like it's a lot of people talking in your ears, and sometimes he just wants his own creativity to remain a little like uninformed and just a little more genuine. And I don't really know if that's the case, but it's just kind of like the habit I've fallen into in the last 4 or 5 months, where it's like if I have some free time, I wanted to go sand that piece I was working on, or try to like build a skill, or like spend time with Eden, right? Like it's just a matter of priorities and like
in balance.
Exactly.
Are you one of those people like me who like has to watch the videos in order?
No, not at all.
I can't. I mean, unless I'm look at the video and I'm legit not interested in it. Like, I can't watch the latest video from someone without watching the videos beforehand that they've put out that I'm interested in. I don't know why.
I mean, if it's if it's a legit series,
like
I really
part 2.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't need to go.
Yeah, of course. But I mean, no.
Like, that being said, like with the Maker podcast, like Modern Maker podcast, making it. Because we make most of it, like once I got into it, I did like to listen to their back catalog.
Yeah.
So I have this, I do the same thing, but I also listen to the latest episode when it comes out. So it plays with your mind. Because when I was going through the backlog.
So you're just mixing it all up.
Yeah. I was going through the backlog
I did the same
with
thing.
Tools. And then they started talking about coronavirus, but they were also very excited to go to Maker Central. Like, and I went, because that's where like we started converging on the same thing, and I was like, "Oh no, they don't know yet. They don't know what's going to happen. It's going to get canceled, guys." And they were like, "We're so pumped."
I can't do that. Because like if I find like say a podcast that I want to listen to, and I go back to the beginning to start listening, all right. If a new episode comes out, I'm like, "Oh, I can't wait to catch back up so I can listen to the latest episode."
Yeah. Yeah, I understand that completely.
Yes.
And so I'm kind of just like in my own head right now, but just to say one more thing about like not having time to watch other media. I think I do need to do that more, and I've noticed it recently. Like I've made the effort to like watch some newer videos from channels I like the past few days. And I was like, wow, this is like a really nice bit of escapism, inspiration. I like to see what this person is up to. And I think it has been something I've been missing recently. And I think it's a good way to kind of avoid burnout as well, just to not be so doing your own thing all the time, to be able to be a spectator.
So
I
actually include that as part of my, I think of watching a maker video as part of my making, as part of my creativity, as part of my like YouTube career.
Yeah.
If I want to escape, I play Hearthstone. And I watch Hearthstone videos. I watch more Hearthstone videos than anything else. I probably watch like 3 hours a day of Hearthstone videos.
Yeah.
And then I also, on top of that, watch like 2 hours of maker videos a day. But the maker videos are part of my job.
Right.
And
the Hearthstone videos are my escapism.
Well, that's what I think with me with YouTube too, is that I kind of used YouTube as a way to do what I couldn't do. If that makes sense. Like what you say
watching
with the
videos, or when
like,
you were making them?
Yeah. So for instance, like I don't watch them anymore, so don't call me a child. But I used to watch a lot of Minecraft videos because I liked Minecraft, but I never got to play it. So I would watch videos because it was like I was playing it, but you know what I mean. Like you still get it. And I think that was the same with maker videos. Is I used to watch a lot more of them before I started YouTube because I was watching. It was like my way of like fulfilling that want of wanting to make something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I totally know what you mean. I think that's why part of the reasons like why I was at university and I was like living not in a house for the first time. I was living in an apartment. I didn't have access to any tools or shed or a yard. And I found it very relaxing to just watch like Matthias Wendell make some wooden contraption.
Yeah. I've always watched YouTube for entertainment. I've never watched it for research.
Yeah. Like
I don't watch make a video and go, I'm going to make that.
I've never watched one. I've Googled how to do something.
Yeah.
It brought me to a YouTube video, but it's
You know what I think is my most used genre of educational YouTube videos is how to do a specific thing in like video editing software. And it's just like, okay guys, today I'm going to tell you how to do this one little trick. It's like, wow, it's exactly what I wanted to know.
Right. But then your entire feed becomes that. So what I do, I go into my library or my history and I delete it.
Okay.
So that it doesn't become that my entire feed becomes how to use Vegas Movie Studio Platinum 16.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's like my feed became that for a bit.
Mm.
Yeah.
And like my wife's taking a course and she has to watch like YouTube videos for the course. And then they become, because she doesn't log out of my.
I was going to say, that's why my wife has her own YouTube account.
Right,
sorry.
but then like if she logs out, then I have to log back in anyways. We just, whatever. I go through and I delete all of her watch.
You can have multiple accounts logged in, right?
Yeah, but when you just click on a video, it automatically plays from whatever counts the last one that was logged on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she just presses the button. It plays the video. I go later. I delete that video from my watch history so that I don't get bombarded with how to use Microsoft Word, because that's the course she's currently taking. But anyways, that's how I like to balance my YouTube subscription feed.
Yeah. Right. So I don't know how much we actually kept with the topic today. So that was quite interesting, but it is coming up on an hour, so let's move on to our Clampmendations.
Alrighty.
Don't forget you started recording 15 minutes early.
Yeah,
no pre-show. Just let you know.
Which I'm going to talk about in a second. I'm going to go first. So my recommendation this week, although it's a big YouTuber, is Jay Bates. So Jay Bates was actually one of the people that really got me into wanting to make YouTube and all that sort of stuff. And he adopted a baby, I think a year ago or so. And when he adopted the baby, he kind of just wasn't really putting out videos. And then he put a couple out, but they just didn't seem to be his videos. And then I stumbled across one of his newer videos the other day and watched it, and it's just back to his old style, and I just really enjoyed it. So I just thought I'd recommend him and say, like, you know, if you feel the same way I did, he's back to his old style, and it's really entertaining videos, really good videos.
Cool.
So,
it sounds like he had some life balancing to figure out in the last
it's funny, as we're talking, I'm like, hey, this actually really goes with my Clampmendation.
Did you not mean to do that? That was incredibly
No, I did not at all.
And it's funny. That's really funny.
Cool. All right. I will go next. So Al's Hack Shack came out with a new video a few days ago called Insomnia Hack. And I saw it in my feed for a little while, and I was like, because his last one, the Full Metal Al was an anime reference, and I was like, is this another anime reference or something? Whatever it is, the thumbnail looks incredibly interesting. I've been going through his back catalog, and I was like, I want to watch this at some point. Finally got around to it this morning, and it's super cool. So he basically makes a pivoting table that sits at the foot of his bed, and then he can pivot it forward with actually motors, which he didn't really kind of fully articulate he was going to do until halfway through the video, so that he can like sit in his bed, play video games, watch videos and stuff. It's really cool.
He's our first double shout.
Yeah.
Our first double clamp. We need 2 clamps on L now.
So one thing I loved about the video is that like his Hack Shack is a really interesting use of a small space, which I really always love, like how people use small spaces. He's got
like,
that flip.
It's kind of like Colin Furr's little shed thing.
Yeah. Yeah, like he's got the flip top drill holder, and something that I didn't see in his last video was he has like a hole in his workbench, which has a vacuum hose attachment, so he can just turn it on and brush chips into the vacuum hole in the center. It's like, I don't know if that's common, but I was like, that's really cool.
That is one of the coolest. Like his hack bench is one of the coolest things, and like that drill flippy thing is 3 seconds of a video, and you have no clue how he did it.
It's awesome. And I love how this video, it's the same thing, right? It's like interesting, smart use of a small space. Like it's like an over-engineered solution to a simple problem. Like you could use a laptop in bed, but he made this whole wooden rig. And I love how it is like wooden mechanical moving parts. And like he explains it really well. Like, I know this is a little janky, but it's fine. And this is why I did it. And it works really well. I like how his videos they feel very, very natural while still being very creative and entertaining.
Yeah. I definitely, like I said, the time I clamped him, I think he's one of the most underrated makers. I think like he should be way bigger. He is like the way he thinks is just awesome.
Yeah.
It'll come.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
The cream rises to the top.
And
Also, probably best beard in the maker community, I will say.
ouch.
Come on, Grant. You got to admit. Yours is great. Yours is great. They're different.
Better than Graz?
I think Graz
Graz?
makes actually. Yeah, Graz has the best beard.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
we can have our opinions.
Yeah, that's a good argument. But I think Graz has like his looks fake. That's how good it is.
Yeah.
Right. Kind of like the Brian Wilson, the San Francisco Giants pitcher. It's like so perfect.
Yeah.
Well, I thought you didn't like sports.
I know enough.
I don't know who he just referenced. So
No, me neither.
I know who the San Francisco Giants are, though. I think they're a baseball, football team, maybe basketball.
Baseball team.
I know it's not football.
I definitely thought it was football. But there was like a movie, Little Giants, and that's maybe what confused me. So down to my Clampmendation. This was a hard one because there literally was only a few days between the two. But I'm going to go with this another Torontonian, to someone who lives near Morley. It's Zach builds.
Oh, his desk.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with his desk. It's a pretty cool desk.
That video has been on my watch list for like a week, and it looks awesome, but I haven't seen the video yet.
Well, it's 7,000 views. He started his YouTube channel 5 months ago, and he's already at 2K subscribers. He's also on Instagram, and he recently got first place in the pets contest. But and if he listens to this, he's already thanked me for pushing him to go into Instructables. But anyways, the desk is really cool. What I like about it is like he just basically said, I'm not going to have a computer tower. My desk is my computer. And that's something I've thought about doing since university. Since I left university and I had a desk, I went, why do I have a computer tower? Why don't I just screw everything to the side? Like, what do I need a prescribed way of doing things? Anyways.
But is that better? Is that better or worse than hanging all the components from the ceiling and then having a fan pointed up at it?
Yeah, I think it's about the same. Okay. Oh, something about Abby has something. I can't read it. You got to put it. Your battery power is at 2%, Adam.
Get your life in order.
Yeah, get your life in order. What's wrong with you? What does it say about my wife? She
started following me on Instagram.
Well, that's probably because you spelled your name out in the link. So while I record, she listens to the episode before.
Oh, that's cool.
Right. Okay. Great.
So Morley, if anyone could find you with your Yelroms, because if you right now search Yelrom blog, you do not find you.
You should, because it's still I still have the hashtags, and anyways, it's okay. People will find me if they really want to.
Yeah.
Morley's name is on the bottom of his video for Zoom, and Jimmy still couldn't spell it, so.
Well, yeah. If you do, you should just add @ So if you search for @ Yelrom blog, you get nothing. So add @ Yelrom blog to your description.
Yeah, but if you search Yelrom without the @ I think you find it. Anyway, we can talk about SEO later, but I really like. I mean, Zach Build's desk is super sharp. I agree. He's a very skilled maker and woodworker, and I know he's a contractor as well.
You should totally team up with him.
Yeah, we chat. He's given me some lumber yard recommendations, and I'll send him this and let him know that we like his stuff.
Yeah. Nice. Well, I know we actually chatted about him. I chatted with him this week about Jimmy coming on the podcast, and he was pretty excited. So
sweet.
Maybe he listens. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he just saw my Instagram post. I don't know, but we'll see. If he reaches out to me, then we'll know. That's my Clampmendation for the week.
So we do have a new reclamp today.
Or what?
Reclamp, that's what I'm calling it.
Oh, okay.
A clamp view.
A clamp view.
A clamp view. I like clamp view. Yeah.
Yeah, clamp view. All right. So this review, I don't know how to take. It was a review on our last episode, so not on the actual podcast itself. Well, yeah. And it says, Jimmy back must hurt from carrying the conversation. LOL.
I think Jimmy's back is well in shape to carry the conversation.
He also said Jimmy back, not Jimmy's back.
Now don't get me with that grammar.
That was left by Making It fan, but he also left 5 stars, so I'm not sure if it was meant to be negative or positive. But I also wanted to say his name's Making It fan, but have you ever listened to Making It? Because Jimmy does not stop talking. So
he's a freight train.
Did you listen to the last Making It?
Yes.
Where Jimmy's they talked about Jimmy read some of the reviews and now it's
people keep talking over him. He keeps talking over them.
Yeah. Jimmy's the best.
Yeah. And yeah, I think
definitely,
as I've said to you guys, I think that's the episode where we should shut up a little and let Jimmy talk. And
well, you look at Vincent got a negative review on Because We Make, saying that they didn't let the guests talk at all. So you can't win. But
So if you hate because we may come to Clamp, we'll go way in the other direction.
Although we were all like excited just to talk to Jimmy and stuff, like, you know, we were excited to talk to Jimmy, and it was we wanted to hear his story. It wasn't just about, you know.
I think it was just a great comment, and I think it was all positive. That's the way I think. Every single comment I've ever read is a positive thing, and I think that guy had it completely right. I think Jimmy's back probably hurt because he carried our conversation, because that's why we wanted to talk to him about that topic, because he had so much more to offer.
Yeah, exactly right. No, it was a good review, and thank you, Making It fan. Hopefully, you're still listening. So before we move on to our outro and where you can find us, we wanted to we actually have some exciting news to share with everyone. Mm-hmm. It was mentioned earlier, but we have decided to start a Patreon. Now, yes. Take with it what you will. I know we're only 8 episodes in, but it's you know, something that we wanted to do and give back to sort of the people that really enjoy listening to our podcast.
And I want to just mention as well that podcasting, unlike YouTube, isn't as free. It's not as easy to be free, right?
Yes.
Like what we do actually costs money, so that's why we started a Patreon. It's to try and cover the hosting fees that we currently pay. So that we can, you know, do this.
So we are still, go on.
I said, and so we can bring the people that supported some awesome extra content.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So we are still working out the fine details for now, but anyone who becomes a Patreon will have access to our new after show, which will actually be a pre-show this time.
And potentially also partly after show. We'll have to see.
Yes. Which will be another 15 to 30 minutes of us just talking crap about what we already talked about, or talking about how we thought the podcast went and all that sort of stuff.
And potentially
we're also considering
secrets.
Yes. Is Grant wearing pants? No. So we're also
wearing pants. I'm wearing
shorts. We're also considering putting up a video version of the podcast on our Patreon, but we haven't decided on that yet. So if that's something you would be interested in, send me a message on Instagram, on the Clampcast Instagram, and let me know if that's something you'd be interested in, and it's something we'll definitely want to look into.
And if there's any other suggestions about things that you want to see on Patreon, just let us know. Like I mentioned about the thing that I have in my story right now, the buck saw, bow saw, whatever it is, we're going to post that up on the Patreon. And that way, if you miss the story, but you're a Patreon, you get a chance to see it. You know, I think that's a fair way of doing it. And that way, the people who are super fans, but also understand that, you know, you might miss a couple stories here and there, they get a chance to see the things we talk about at the time.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah. All right. Anything else to add before we go?
I want to add that me saying if you hate because we make Come to Clamp was tongue in cheek, and Vincent's.
We all listened to it.
And it was all on good love and joking. Yeah. I was just worried that came off a little strong.
Did you say that recently?
Oh no, I was just joking when Adam was comparing the reviews.
Yeah.
Regardless, Vincent knows. It's all in good fun.
All right. It was a good talk today. We didn't really... It was a lot of tangents.
But they were tangents that were still within the topic, and I think we brought it around.
I think we came up with some good ideas for future podcasts.
Yeah.
We did. All right. So where can we find everyone?
You can find me at Morley Kert everywhere and at morleykert.com.
Oh, that's different.
No, it's... I don't know what you're talking about. It's always the way it's always been.
So you can find me at the Grant Alexander everywhere except for Twitter because I don't like it, and including thegrantalexander.com. a website that basically highlights my Instagram feed.
And you can find me, Maker Mackie, everywhere. If you go to makermackie.com, it'll have links to my socials as well. And you can find us collectively at Clampcast on Instagram.
Bye.
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 We're the worst at ending.
We are.
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. Love you.
The clip you're about to hear is taken from the after show that is available to our Patreons. You may have noticed that I left the little blooper at the beginning of the episode that I would normally put here. And from weeks going forward, that will be the case. I just wanted to quickly for this week only put a little bonus segment to show you what might be included in the after show. So if you are interested in supporting us on Patreon, there will be links in the show notes. And we appreciate all of our fans, whether you decide to be a Patreon or not. Please don't feel obliged to do so. Is that can not round?
No, it's got stripes on it. It's got stripes. So
through the camera, it looks like an octagon or something.
Yeah, because it's got like alternating stripes on it. Yeah, that's their kind of like their thing. And then each so I had a red ale, and I had a cream ale, and now I'm having a pale ale.
Just drinking it
dark to light,
12 a.m.
Yeah, I guess dark to light. That's what I did. I don't know why I did that.
I just had a little bit of have you had Bareface before?
I love it.
Yeah, it's great. I think it's my favorite whiskey.
Yeah, I'm an alcoholic. I love it.
I had a black coffee.
Black coffee. That's so weird.
Do you guys mix beers over there like we do here?
Like pour two beers into one another? Yeah,
so we have you can ask for say a 50-50 and it's half a light, half dark.
So we have a crown float